Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60 and Me. Today I'd like to continue the discussion about iconic beauty products, specifically skincare products that we have experienced over our lives. Now, if you are a woman over 60, you probably can remember the first cream that you put on your face. For me, it was Pond's. My mom used to have this big jar of Pond's cream on her table, and I used to always sneak in there and put it on my face and experiment, and I loved it. And Pond's has actually stayed with me throughout my entire life. I still use it. But many of you talked about other products. I've done a few videos on iconic beauty and skincare products that are coming back or never went away. And one that I found that is most intriguing to me is another that you might be familiar with called Noxzema. Now, I want to talk about this iconic product, Noxzema, and a little bit of its history and whether you used it. I'd like to know. Now, it wasn't the normal skin cream. It didn't have that beautiful scent. It was kind of, almost medicinal. It had a kind of a menthol smell to it, but a lot of people remember it and used it specifically for clearing up your skin when you were a teenager. It had those sort of antibacterial qualities. But it is a classic skincare product with a rich history and a timeless appeal. It's captivated generations, and I didn't actually purchase one, but they are available online, and their product line really expanded over the course of its history. Now, I'm going to read from my notes a bit because this is all new to me, and I don't remember dates as well as I used to, but anyway, Noxzema was invented and launched by Dr. Francis Townsend, and that was in 1914. And there was a man called George Bunting who took this formula and turned it into a product and marketed it. So I think Dr. Francis Townsend was the inventor of the product, and then Dr. George Bunting, released it to the market. He was in Baltimore, Maryland. Now, the name of the product, Noxzema, where did that come from? Well, it's a combination of fusion of noxious and ema, meaning no irritation. So that was the original name, was this this medicinal product that was going to have no irritation. And it kind of began the highlighting the whole philosophy about gentle skincare and skincare that took care of your, the natural hormones that were going through your body as you got older. So it was originally apparently a cleansing cream, and Noxzema was deep cleansing cream that had this kind of really funky blue, this very distinctive blue packaging, and it was renowned or known for its invigorating sensation when you put it on your face. I did use Noxzema. Did you? Tell me about your stories. But it had an invigorating, like a buzz almost. Like it was like, you breathed it in and it felt good. It just felt like you were doing something healthy for your skin. So it was made to cleanse and rejuvenate the skin. And what was in it? Eucalyptus oil, camphor, which actually, if you told me that you'd give me $1 million right now if I told you what camphor was, I have no idea. I should have checked that out. But anyway, it's got camphor in it, and menthol, which is, menthol is a mint. So those were the three ingredients: eucalyptus oil, camphor, and menthol. That's what's in Noxzema. Now, whoever thought to put that all together and produce a skincare product that must have worked because people bought it. And it's got this timeless appeal because it was very popular. And in some ways, a lot of these iconic products that we talk about now have got an emotional connection. Like when I talked about my mom's Pond's cream, I still use Pond's to this day, probably because of that. I mean, I'm sure that I know there are many, many other cleansing creams and makeup removers on the market, and I could have chosen any one of them. But for me, it was Pond's, and that's what stayed with me. But Noxzema may be your one. Now, evolved over decades. And this is what I love, what to say, 1914. Okay, so that's a long time ago, right? And it was, it's developed into many different product lines. When you go onto, I think Amazon even sells it, you can see there's the face masks, cleansing pads, there's moisturizers, blemish pads, and it still has that kind of association with blemishes. And I think that is the Noxzema kind of timeless, quality. It's got removal wipes, all kinds of things. And another thing it became popular for was for having kind of unisex. It actually was for men and for women. So there was a shaving cream. It was in 1967. There was an ad. I think I've talked about this in a separate video because it was so intriguing. And I want to share this because part of any product, any skincare or makeup product is the advertising, right? So how people are seeing it being used. But Noxzema took a turn in the 60s, which was really interesting. Probably, as we can relate as 60-year-old women, is a little bit, avant-garde, a little bit, out there and sensual and hinting at something more than just skincare. Anyway, this ad I want to share with you is so funny. It was a Swedish model. Her name was Gunilla Knutsson. Very pretty woman. You can see this video is on YouTube. I will put a link to it in the description because it's so fun to watch. But Gunilla Knutsson, she was putting this cream to the music for the stripper. Do 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 do. I can't sing, but you know what I mean. Da da da. Anyhow, and she put it on and then was like, "Take it off, take it all off." And this person was shaving. Honestly, it was just like, like watching a X-rated movie. It was, and in those days, advertising was just sort of experimenting. But that was it. That was Gunilla Knutsson to ask men to take it off. Take it all off, this shaving cream. And Noxzema became really well known for that ad. And it was, has anybody seen it? It's super funny. No, it's not funny. It's actually very, very smart. It's very clever and it's very appealing. And, who thought that up? But and got it through all the censors. Maybe there weren't any in those days. But anyways, take it all off. And then the next ad, which is I think even better, was, remember in the 70s, who was like the pin-up girl for guys, right? It was Farah Fawcett. Beautiful woman. And they did this ad for, I think it wasn't a Super Bowl ad, or could it, well, that would be 1970. But anyway, the football player, Joe Namath, who was equally, they were the two icons for men and women, in terms of their sex appeal and their attraction. She was standing beside him, and they clearly had scripted this, and it was actually very natural, though. It didn't feel like an ad. It just felt like they were talking. And he was saying, she said she put this shaving cream on, and he was shaving it off. And then at the end of it all, he turns to her and he says, "Wow, you've got a really great pair of hands." Of course, we know what he was talking about, but it was just so, and then I'm not being, I guess I'm being sexist about it, because in those days, those were ads that were not thought about too much. That was what it was. I guess there's a quality now that people wouldn't like it. It's a little bit too, sort of not being fair to women or being, disrespectful. But, you got a great pair of hands. And then she smiles, and it was overtly sexual, but it was a cool ad. It was really funny. And as an advertising person, as a marketing person, I'm going, yes, this is, what else can you do with skincare? A shaving cream. How can you make that interesting and people wanting to buy it? Noxzema figured it out. Really, really cool. So they depended in those days on celebrity endorsement. Nothing new there. They were influencers. They were the influencers of the day. But anyway, the bottom line here is that it's got this enduring attraction because it's just, well, number one, it apparently works. Number two, it was presented in a way that was attractive and fun and sensual. And, number three, it was affordable. Drugstore product, nothing mysterious about it. Everyone could have it. Everyone could use it. And they did. It was a huge success. Noxzema is a success story that has continued for over 100 years. And I just would love to know, did you use Noxzema? What did you use it for? And why was it so attractive to you? Why did you buy it? I just think it's fascinating. The whole idea of makeup anyway, to me, is fascinating. Why we buy it, why we choose one product over another. And I just would love to know kind of what might have drawn you to this iconic skincare product, Noxzema. I don't know who owns it today. I should have checked that out. Like many of these iconic brands, they're purchased by L'Oreal or Unilever, but I'll check that out and see if I can find the details. But it could still be its own company. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this chat. And if you've got any other skincare products that I haven't covered in previous videos that are iconic to you, let me have the name and I'll check them out. We can do a video and have fun with it. I just think it's, especially because we're women over 60, we know these products as young women and have a different view perhaps than a lot of people. So anyway, I hope you have a great day, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Stay beautiful. Go out and shine in the world with your Noxzema or whatever products you use, or none at all. It's okay too. But have a great day, everyone, and take care. And thank you so much for your support here for 60 and Me. Love you lots. Bye.